For the first time in its nearly quarter-century existence, the Continental Racing League has a second-tier division. The idea for a second-tier division came about 2 years ago when the CRL announced the junior division. After last season was shortened, though, the junior division was scrapped, and from the ashes came the CRL Developmental division. This division is designed to help the skills of drivers who have little to no experience racing modifieds. Unsurprisingly, the field is smaller than the modifieds division field is. Less cars, though, will give these newcomers more space to develop their skills and talent. One surprise in the field, however, is 2008 Modified Division champion Rallin Hayden, as well as his Suzuka Corp teammate Lyman Mills. They were placed in this division by Suzuka Corp to help regain their confidence after a dismal season. In Hayden's case, 2 dismal seasons. Now, the Modified Division had a major overhaul to its point system over the offseason, and this division has inherited the previous one. As a refresher, here it is. Winning will get you 20 points, second place 16, third place 14, fourth place 12, fifth place 10, sixth place 8, seventh place 6, eighth place 5, ninth place 4, 10th place 3, 11th place 2, and 12th place 1. And you have 2 bonus point opportunities. You get a bonus point for winning the Simple Green Pole Award and a point for leading the most laps in a race. Well, that's it for me. It's time to hand it over to my broadcast partner, the television voice of the CRL, Brad Chrisomanis. Thank you, Joey. Capturing the first ever Simple Green Pole Award, driving Tom Delgado's entry for MRD Motorsports in the number 37. It's Emma McSwegan, the Scottish driver. Grid is 24 cars strong, and here are all those cars. You don't want to be that guy or girl who breaks down leaving the grid for a series first ever race, but all 24 cars would pull away. Going to go to the start now. We're going to have you focus on the 4th place starter, Miranda Lechleiter. Look at her move up to the outside as soon as the green flag drops. She's on the outside of McSwegan. And the 2nd place starter, John Pagan. She's holding the line through turns 1 and 2 and now into 3 and 4. Lechleiter holding it, and she's going to come off of turn 4, and she's going to lead just barely the first ever race lap in CRL Developmental Division history. And as they hit the backstretch on lap 2, she's going to settle into first. Another good start comes from Dave Raymer, who started 12th. There he is in the 13 car driving for Leicester Racing. Look at him going around the outside of 3 cars to move up to 8th by the end of the first lap. But he's not done yet. See that yellow and red car on the bottom of the screen, or on the bottom of the racetrack? That's Daniel Fisher in the 2-car driving for Midwest Pride Racing. And he's going to become Raymer's next victim, as Raymer at the end of lap 2 will be up to 7th. You notice the car stopped on the apron just near turn 1. Going to take a look at that. That's Jared Goshen in the 00 driving for his family's race team. Started this race in 18th. Looks to be moving up well through the field, but then his car slows down, and he is going to come to a complete stop after crossing the start-finish line to complete the first lap. But the officials don't throw the yellow. Really? No yellow? Watch this. Look at the field coming by. Yeah, dangerous that is? That's completely stupid. Goshen would get the engine refired. He would go to the pits and lose 4 laps, but there is no excuse for not throwing the yellow when a car is stopped on the racetrack. His right rear wheel still over the line. Back to Raymer. And here he is passing our pole sitter, Emma McSwegan, to get 4th spot. We're going to keep it. We're going to keep the video here because look at the 2 black cars in front. That's Petey Jacobson in the 99 and John Pagan in the 7. And Jacobson is going to have 2nd coming off of turn 4. However, Raymer's not done yet, as John Pagan, our 2nd place starter, becomes his next victim. Raymer going around the outside. The outside line works at Irwindale. We saw it last year, and we'll see it again tomorrow night in the Modified Division race. Raymer up to 3rd. Time now to meet our leader, Miranda Lechleiter, since the racing has settled down. She is the younger sister of Robert and Daniel Lechleiter, who used to go by the last name of Klesel. She is the only sibling who hasn't raced a sprint car, and she won 2 motocross championships in her teens. If this is her first car race, then she's doing a heck of a job. She's led every lap so far, and we're only 16 laps into this race. Talk a little bit more about our 2nd place runner, Petey Jacobson, started 8th. He's driving for Pashonda Autosport, yes, as in VJ Pashonda. He's from Smithville, Alabama, and he's known for his distinct political views. He's also 38 years old. Let's talk a little bit more about Dave Raymer. He is from Lake Bennett, South Dakota, and he drives in the ASCC. Learn a little bit more about him as the season goes on. back to racing. You got Peter Goss in the 22 and Naoma Nkema Konam battling for 6th. And Nkema Konam is going to get the spot coming off of turn 4 here. And then she is going to go after Emma McSweigan for 5th place. So our pole sitter continues to get kicked back through the field as Nkema Konam is going to be able to kick her out of the top 5 as we switch to a closer view of this battle. And Nkema Konam, makes the pass official. And a little bit more on Nkema Konam. She's 15. She's from Nigeria. She's one of 3 Yaji racing drivers in the field. They're all running Nomoto engines. She supposedly hasn't lost a race since she was 5 years old. Okay? This division, by the way, a team was free to run any engines they wanted. Yaji Racing, the only team to take the CRL up on that offer. They brought Nomoto engines. Let's talk about this guy, Rowland Hayden, the 2008 Modified Division champion. Had 2 dismal seasons right after that in 2009 and the 2010-2011 season. He's currently running 15th after starting 11th. That car behind him, that's Lyman Mills, his Suzuka Corp teammate who made his CRL Modified Division debut last season and only scored 4 points. So they've both been dropped to the lower division to try and get their confidence back. Here's Miranda Glider coming off of turn 4 to complete the 51st lap, and that means she clinches the bonus point for leading the most laps. 51 laps in, she's led them all. Let's talk about this guy, Daniel Fisher. He is in 9th spot. He's from Battle Creek, Michigan, thus his sponsor being Kellogg's. And he won 4 titles and 23 races in the Michigan Racing Association. He is driving for Midwest Pride Racing, and he is doing them good right now, running in the top 10. He is driving a Juno. Juno making its debut in the Continental Racing League this year, and there'll be a lot of those in the Modified Division race tomorrow night. Let's talk more about John Pagan. Second place starter, currently running in 4th. He's driving for his own team from Olympia, Washington, where he won 2 titles and 15 races in the All-State Modified Championship in Washington State. He's got Naoma Nkema Konam stalking him for 4th spot. But Pagan running for his own team. However, he does have sponsorship from Applebee's. And on the nose, that's the Boy Scouts of America logo, so he's not funding it from his own pocket. Here's Shane Williams running in 17th. This car was supposed to have been driven. This is the MT Motorsports entry, by the way. This car was supposed to have been driven by Jennifer Putnam, wife of former CRL Modified Division winner and current TM Master Cup Series driver Craig Mummert. However, over the offseason, Mummert and Putnam learned that they are expecting their first child in August, so Williams gets the car. Williams is from Memphis, Tennessee. He's 17 years old and has a great record in Legends cars and go-karts. He's the first African-American driver to race for MT Motorsports. Lap 65, Rowland Hayden is moving up. Here he is passing Brett Waterhead on the outside for 12th spot. So Hayden breaks into the points after sitting outside of the points for the majority of the night. However, he's not done yet. See that green 33? That's Zach Rockensock from Minnesota Racing. And Hayden is going to blast around him and move into 11th. So Hayden looking for 2 points here. Meanwhile, Peter Goss and Naoma Nkema Konam are battling once again on the racetrack. And this is for 5th. And Goss is going to get the spot back from Nkema Konam. Only for Nkema Konam to repass him just a few laps later. Gonna have to wait here for her to get around the outside. She's gonna have the spot coming off of turn 4, so Nkema Konam falling from 5th to 6th, goes right back into 5th. Back to Hayden. He stalked Matthias Yerovicius in that 72 car for the last few laps. This would be 10th if Hayden could get around. And watch this. Goes right to the outside coming off of turn 4. And Hayden is going to get by. Oh, he's not going to get by just yet. They head into turn 3. And now Hayden will complete the pass. So Rowland Hayden up into 10th and looking for 3 points. Let's go back to our leader, Miranda Leckliter. 21 laps left. Here she is in lap traffic. She's lapped the 46 car of Jimmy Studd. Now working on the 00 of Jared Goshen and the 36 of Dan Olivier. But Goshen 4 laps down after breaking down on the track and stopping with no yellow. That's a pretty fast car. Shame he couldn't keep the engine going early on. 5 laps left. Here is Nkema Konam trying to go around the outside of John Pagan for fourth spot. And she's going to get it because she's going on the outside line, the preferred line here at Irwindale. They're going to come off of 4, and Kay McConum is into fourth place with just 4 laps left now. And here's Miranda Lecklider. Nobody's going to pass her. Great start. She pulled away from the field. She leads all 100 laps and wins the first ever CRL Developmental Division race. Wonderful job by her. And now here is Emma McSweeney in 7th spot. Daniel Fisher trying to come around the outside. McSweeney just holds on to the spot. Fisher will finish 8th. And here's Zach Rockenstock in the 33 coming off of turn 4 to finish 12th and capture the final point on the table. Now something stupid happened after the checkered flag. Here's Felix Kaminsky, another one of the Yaji racing cars. He finished 19th. Bill kind of gets bunched up coming into the pits, and then Kaminsky decides to hit the gas since there's enough room. But watch this. He hits the end of the pit wall. Are you kidding? Dude, a little bit more left and you wouldn't have done that. Everybody was hitting that thing in practice, if you saw in the previous video. But here's Miranda Lecklider doing her burnouts. And boy, did she earn the right to do those. Winning the first ever CRL Developmental Division race. Now let's take a look at the top 12 in race results and point standings. Miranda Lecklider, 21 points, the bonus point for leading the most laps. Petey Jacobson finishing 2nd. Dave Raymer rounding out the first ever podium in CRL Developmental Division history. Naoma and Kay McConum's 10-year winning streak has been snapped. Peter Goss finished 5th. John Pagan coming home in 6th. Emma McSweeney finishing 7th, getting the bonus point for winning pole. Daniel Fisher coming home in 8th. Sif Ragner's daughter, the other Yaji racing car, came home in 9th. Rowland Hayden finishing up 10th. Mattias Eurovicius finishing 11th. And Zach Rockenstock finishing in 12th. These cars are going to get in the haulers and head up the coast for the next race of the season at Portland International Raceway in Oregon.